For over 70 years, big alien ships kept humans trapped on Earth. These aliens, called the Velrin, watched Earth from far away in space. They let humans travel to Mars, but no further. Any ship that tried to go past Mars was turned back or destroyed. The Velrin ships looked like huge shining crystals. They never talked to humans. They just watched and waited. Commander Tae-Wan Kim stood by the window at Moonbase 1. He was looking at the stars. Tae-Wan was 50 years old with gray in his black hair. His face was tired, but his eyes were strong. "Will we always be prisoners?" he asked himself quietly. Every day for 20 years, Tae-Wan had worked in the Earth Space Force. Every day he watched the stars and wished humans could travel to them. But the Velrin aliens always stopped them. Most people on Earth had given up. They accepted that humans would never leave the solar system. They stopped dreaming about the stars. But some people had a secret plan. Lieutenant Ji-Hoo ran up to Tae-Wan at the window. "Commander, Director Park wants you in the main room right now." Tae-Wan turned quickly. "Did something happen with the aliens?" "Yes, sir. One of their ships has moved." Tae-Wan hurried through the halls of the moon base. His heart was beating fast. Director Sua Park never called for him unless something important was happening. The main room was deep inside the moon. Sua was there looking at a big screen that showed all the planets. She was 60 years old with short white hair and a face that showed she was smart and tough. "Look at this," she said, pointing at the screen. "The biggest Velrin ship has moved. It's now near Saturn." "Why would they move their main ship?" Tae-Wan asked. "They never do that. They're looking at our mining work on Saturn's moon," Sua said. Her eyes were bright and excited. "This is what we've been waiting for. Their line of ships has a weak spot now." She pressed a button, and the screen changed. Now it showed a huge space under the moon's surface. This space was filled with rows and rows of ships. There were 1,000 ships hidden there. "Project Phoenix," Tae-Wan said softly. For many years, Earth had been building these secret ships. Each ship could fly to the stars. Each had special paint that made it invisible to Velran scanners. Each carried 200 sleeping people who would start new human colonies on far planets. Dr. Han-Gil Lee stood up from his chair. He was the scientist who made the special invisible paint for the ships. "The ships are ready," Han-Gil said. "The hiding paint works well. We tested it many times. The Velrin won't see our ships." "Are you really sure?" Tae-Wan asked. "If you're wrong, people will die." "I'm very sure," Han-Gil said. "We've studied Velrin technology for years. We know how they look for ships." Sua showed another screen. This one had many stars on it. "Each ship will go to a different star. We've found planets that might be good for humans to live on. The ships have everything needed to start new homes there." Tae-Wan was surprised. "You want to send the ships now? Today?" "Yes," Sua said in a strong voice. "The big Velrin ship is busy at Saturn. This is our best chance, our only chance." "But if they see our ship," Tae-Wan started to say. "Then some ships will be caught," Sua said. Her face was serious. "But they can't catch all 1,000 ships. Some will get away. Humans will escape one way or another." Tae-Wan walked around the room, thinking hard. Each ship in the secret base carried 200 people. These people knew they might never see Earth again. They were brave. They were ready to risk everything for freedom. "How long have these people been training for this mission?" he asked. "Many years," Sua said. "They're the best pilots, farmers, doctors, and builders. They're ready." She put her hand on his arm. "Tae-Wan, we've been planning this for 3 generations. It's time." Tae-Wan thought about all the years humans had been trapped by the Velrin. He thought about all the people who had worked in secret, never giving up hope. The Velrin thought humans had accepted their prison. They were wrong. "How soon can the ships be ready to launch?" he asked. 4 hours, Sua answered. "We started getting them ready as soon as the Velran ship moved." Tae-Wan nodded. "Then let's do this." He walked to the main computer and pressed the button that would send a message to all the hidden ships. His voice would reach 1,000. "Ship captains waiting for the signal. This is Commander Kim. Operation Phoenix starts now. All ships prepare to launch in 4 hours. Today, humans will fly to the stars again." When he finished, Sua was smiling. The Velrin think they're so smart, she said. They think they can keep us here forever. They're wrong, Taewon said. We're leaving, and they can't stop all of us. Deep under the moon's surface, 1,000 ships began to light up. Crews ran to their stations. Engines started to warm up. Captains checked their secret star maps. In 4 hours, the greatest escape in human history would begin. 1,000 ships would fly in 1,000 different directions. The Velrin might catch some, but not all. Not even close to all. Humans were going to the stars, and this time, no one would stop them. Taewon looked at Sua. 3 generations of planning. Will it be enough? It has to be, she said. We get one chance. Tell the ship captains to be ready. As soon as it's dark on the Earth side of the moon, we launch. Taewon nodded and began sending orders to the waiting ships. Soon, very soon, humanity would break free from its prison. They endured. Velran thought humans were trapped on Earth forever. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Captain Juri Moon checked her ship one last time. She was the captain of the ship called Star Runner. Juri was 35 years old with short black hair and quick, smart eyes. Her ship was one of the 1,000 ships hidden under the moon's surface. Is everything ready? She asked her team. Minho, her second in command, nodded. The engines are ready. All systems are working. The 200 sleeping people are safe. Juri looked at her control screen. How is the special? Hiding paint working? Very good, said Engineer Yoon-hee, a woman with strong hands and a calm voice. The Velrin won't see us. Juri felt her heart beat fast. This was the biggest day in human history. After 70 years of being trapped near Earth, humans were going to escape. Her ship would fly to a star called Tau Ceti. It was 12 light years away. That meant even at their fastest speed, it would take 5 years to get there. Are you scared? Minho asked quietly. Yes, Juri said honestly. But I'm more excited than scared. We're going to the stars, Minho. We're going to be free. A voice came through the ship's speakers. It was Commander Taewon Kim from Moonbase 1. All ships, this is Commander Kim. The Velrin main ship is still at Saturn. Their guard line is still weak. Launch time is in 10 minutes. Get ready. Juri pressed the button to talk back. Star Runner is ready, Commander. All around her ship, 999 other ships were also getting ready. 1,000 ships. 1,000 different paths to the stars. The biggest escape plan ever made. 5 minutes to launch, said Commander Kim's voice. Juri looked at her team. There were 20 of them on the bridge of the ship. They would fly the ship while the 200 other people slept in special sleep pods. When they reached their new home, everyone would wake up and start building a new human world. I want to say something, Juri told her team. Today we make history. Today we break free. Some ships might get caught by the Velrin, but many will escape. Humans will spread to the stars and no one will ever trap us again. Her team nodded. They were ready. They had trained for years for this day. 1 minute to launch, Commander Kim's voice said. Deep under the moon, giant doors began to open. These doors led to space. One by one, the ships would fly out, using the dark side of the moon to hide them at first. 10 seconds. 9. 8. Commander Kim counted down. Juri took a deep breath. Start engines, she said. The Star Runner's engines came to life. They made almost no noise because they were special gravity engines. They pulled the ship forward instead of pushing it with fire like old rockets. 3, 2, 1, launch. Juri pressed the launch button. Her ship lifted off the ground, moving up toward the open doors. Above them was darkness and stars. Freedom. The Star Runner flew out of the moon base. Behind it came other ships, one after another. They looked like silver fish swimming up into a black ocean. Full stealth mode, Juri ordered. The special hiding paint activated fully, bending light around the ship. On Velrin screens, the ship would be invisible. From the window of Moonbase 1, Commander Taewon watched the ships leave. They were hard to see even when he knew where to look. The hiding technology was working well. 900 ships launched, said Lieutenant Ji-hoo, who was counting. 950. 990. Director Sua Park stood beside Taewon. 3 generations of planning, she said softly. All for this moment. Outside, the last of the 1,000 ships was leaving the moon. They moved, like silent ghosts, into space. Each ship went in a different direction. Some went up from the planets. Some went down below them. Some went to the left or right. They all had different stars to find. 1,000 ships launched, Jihu said with wonder in his voice. Operation Phoenix is complete. Taewon held his breath. Now came the dangerous part. The ships were flying past Mars, heading to the edge of the solar system. They had to get past the Velrun guards. On the Star Runner, Juri watched her screens. They showed the positions of the Velrun ships. Most of the alien ships were still in their normal places. The big mothership was still at Saturn, far from its usual spot. We're approaching Mars now, Minho said. After Mars is the danger zone. Juri nodded. Stay in stealth mode. Keep the engines quiet. The Star Runner flew past Mars, moving faster and faster. They were using the gravity of the planets to make them go even faster, like a ball rolling downhill. Any sign the Velrun see us? Juri asked. Dong-hyun, who watched the enemy ships, shook his head. No, they're not moving. They don't see us. On Moon Base 1, everyone was quiet. They were watching the screens, following the ships as they moved, farther and farther away. The first ships are passing the Mars safety line, Jihu reported. They're entering Velrun territory now. Taewon and Sua looked at each other. This was it. If the Velrun saw the ships now, everything would fail. On the Star Runner, Juri felt sweat on her forehead. They were now in the danger zone. If the Velrun saw them, her ship would be destroyed or captured. Suddenly, Dong-hyun shouted, Velrun ship moving. One of their patrol ships is turning. Everyone on the bridge froze. Had they been seen? Which way is it turning? Juri asked, her voice tight. Dong-hyun looked at his screen. It's turning toward the sun, not toward us. I think they're just changing their patrol route. Everyone breathed again. They were still safe. We're approaching Jupiter, Minho said. We'll use its gravity to go even faster. The Star Runner flew toward the giant planet Jupiter. Jupiter's strong gravity would pull on the ship and make it fly even faster, like a slingshot. Ready for Jupiter slingshot, Yoon-hee said. This will almost double our speed. The ship flew close to Jupiter, using its gravity perfectly. The Star Runner shot forward, now moving incredibly fast. Jupiter slingshot complete, Minho said with a smile. We're now at 30% light speed and accelerating. On Moon Base 1, the news was good. 900 ships past Mars now, Jihu reported. 950. 990. Taewon couldn't believe it. They don't see our ships. The stealth technology is working. The last ship passed Mars safely. All 1,000 ships were now in the danger zone, and the Velrun still hadn't seen them. The first ships are approaching Jupiter now, Jihu said. They're using the slingshot to go faster. Sua smiled. It was a tired smile, but a happy one. It's working, Taewon. They're escaping. On the Star Runner, things were going well. They had passed Jupiter and were now moving at 40% the speed of light. They were heading for Saturn next for another gravity slingshot. Suddenly, Dong-hyun shouted again, Velrun mothership is moving. It's leaving Saturn. Juri's heart jumped. Have they seen us? I don't think so, Dong-hyun said, watching his screen carefully. They're moving back toward their normal position. I think they finished whatever they were doing at Saturn. Will they see us at Saturn when we do our slingshot? Juri asked. Dong-hyun checked the paths. No, they'll be gone before we get there. We're still safe. On Moon Base 1, they also saw the Velrun mothership moving. The Velrun mothership is returning to its position, Jihu said. But it's too late. Most of our ships are already past Jupiter. Some are approaching Saturn. They're going too fast to catch now. Taewon finally allowed himself to smile. They missed their chance. Our ships will be at the edge of the solar system soon. Once they're past Neptune, they can activate their Faster than light drives. The hours passed. On the Star Runner, they successfully used Saturn's gravity for another slingshot. They were now going at 60% light speed. Uranus slingshot coming up, Minho said. After that, Neptune, then we're free. The ship continued its journey. They passed Uranus without problems. They were now moving at 70% light speed. The ship vibrated slightly as it moved, faster than any human ship had ever gone before. Neptune ahead, Minho said. Last gravity slingshot before we leave the solar system. The Star Runner flew past Neptune, the last big planet. Its gravity gave them one final push of speed. We're at 80% light speed, Yoon-hee reported. Perfect for the jump to faster than light. Ju-ri took a deep breath. We've passed the edge of the solar system. We're beyond Velran territory. She looked at her team, her eyes shining. We're free. The bridge crew cheered. They had done it. They had escaped Earth. Prepare for faster-than-light jump, Ju-ri ordered. Set course for Tau Ceti. The Star Runner's special engines powered up. With a flash of light, the ship jumped to faster-than-light speed. It vanished from normal space, now traveling through a special tunnel between stars. On Moonbase 1, the reports were coming in. All ships have successfully passed Neptune, Ji-hoo said with amazement in his voice. They're all going faster than light now. The Velran never even noticed them. Taewon looked at the screen showing the empty space where the ships had been. 1,000 ships, he said quietly. 1,000 new beginnings for humanity. Sua nodded. They thought they could keep us prisoners forever. They were wrong. Far away in space, 1,000 ships were flying to 1,000 different stars. The greatest escape in history was complete. Humanity was free at last. 5 years passed. The Star Runner had been traveling through space all this time. Captain Ju-ri Moon was now 40 years old. Her ship had traveled 12 light years from Earth, going faster than light most of the way. We're almost there, Minho said. He was still her trusted second-in-command. Tau Ceti star system ahead. Ju-ri looked at the main screen. She could see a yellow star, much like Earth's sun. Around this star were planets. One of them was blue-green like Earth, Soma. The fourth planet still looking good? She asked. Yoon-ji, the science officer, checked her screens. Yes, Captain. It has water, land, and air we can breathe. The temperature is good too. Ju-ri felt excited but also nervous. For 5 years, they had been heading to this star. They hoped to find a new home here. 200 people were sleeping in the special sleep pods on the ship. They were counting on Ju-ri to find them a safe place to live. Take us closer to the fourth planet, she ordered. Keep the stealth system on. Let's be careful. The Star Runner moved toward the blue-green planet. As they got closer, they could see oceans, forests, and plains. It looked very much like Earth. It's beautiful, Yoon-hee said. Any signs of dangerous animals or weather? Ju-ri asked. Yoon-ji studied her screens. I see plant life for sure. Some, things like fish in the oceans. The weather looks calm in most places. What about intelligent life? Dong-hyun asked. Any cities or technology? Yoon-ji looked harder at her screens. Then she gasped. Captain, I see structures on the northern landmass. Buildings. Someone built them. Everyone on the bridge froze. They had not expected to find intelligent life here. Are you sure they're buildings? Ju-ri asked. Not just rock formations? I'm sure, Yoon-ji said. They're arranged in circles, very ordered. This isn't natural. Ju-ri thought quickly. Their orders were to avoid contact with alien life if possible. They could try to find another planet in this system. But the other planets didn't look as good for humans to live on. Take us into orbit, Ju-ri decided. Stay in stealth mode, let's get a closer look at these buildings. The Star Runner moved into orbit around the planet. From this distance, they could see the buildings clearly. There were about 200 structures arranged in circles around a center space. The buildings looked like they were made from plants somehow, growing up from the ground. Send down a small drone, Ju-ri ordered. Let's see who lives there. A small flying drone left the ship. It flew down to the planet, staying high enough not to be easily seen. The drone sent back pictures of the settlement. Then they saw the inhabitants. They're like walking plants, Yunji said, amazed. They look like trees that can walk. The beings were about as tall as humans. They had bark-like skin in green and brown colors. From their upper bodies grew branches with flowers and leaves. Their faces had eyes and mouths, but arranged differently than human faces. They're walking around their village, Minho observed. They look peaceful. I don't see any weapons, Donghyun noted. No technology like ours either. No machines or computers or electric lights. Juri watched the plant people with wonder. They moved gracefully. They tended gardens. They seemed to be talking to each other, though the humans couldn't hear them. What do we do now, Yoon-hee asked. Juri called a meeting of her senior crew. We have 3 choices, she said. 1, we can leave this system and look for another planet. 2, we can land on the southern continent, far from these plant people. Or 3, we can try to talk to them. Minho spoke first. Our orders were to avoid alien contact if possible. Those orders came from Earth, Yoon-hee said. Earth is 12 light years away. We need to make our own decisions now. These plant people might be dangerous, Donghyun warned. Or they might help us, Yoon-ji argued. They know how to live on this planet. That knowledge would be very valuable to us. Juri listened to everyone. Then she made her decision. We'll wake up 30 of our sleeping people, scientists and language experts. We'll prepare to meet the plant people, but we'll be very careful. 2 days later, a small ship went down to the planet. It landed in an open area 3 kilometers from the plant people's village. Juri led the contact team herself. They walked slowly toward the village, carrying no weapons where they could be. But they had armed drones flying high above them just in case. The plant people saw the humans coming when they were still far away. Instead of running or hiding, they gathered at the edge of their village. They raised their flowered limbs to the sky in what looked like a greeting. One plant person stepped forward. It was taller than the others, with bright purple flowers growing from its upper body. It stopped a few meters from Juri and held out both its hands, palms up. Juri did the same thing, holding her hands out, palms up. We come in peace, she said, though she knew the plant person couldn't understand her. To everyone's surprise, the plant person made musical sounds, then said words in broken human language. Welcome, stars, friends. Yoon-ji gasped. They know some of our words, but how is that possible? The plant person pointed to the sky. Then it made a shape with its arms that looked like a spaceship, but not the Star Runner. It was a different ship design. Another human ship has been here, Juri realized. One of the other 1,000 ships from Earth reached this planet before us. The plant person nodded, a very human-like gesture. Humans teach, grow together. The plant person led them into the village. There, the humans saw things that showed human influence. Some buildings combined the plant people's growing style with human building methods. And then they saw actual humans, about 50 of them, living with the plant people. A woman walked toward them from the human group. Captain Moon, she said, with a smile. I'm Dr. Heejin Kang from the ship Starseeker. Welcome to our new home. We call it Harmony. Juri was amazed. How did you know my name? We've been tracking your approach for months, Dr. Kang explained. Our ship arrived here 3 years ago. We've been living with the Florins since then. She gestured to the plant people around them. That's what they call themselves, the Florins. And they welcomed you? Juri asked. Very much so, Dr. Kang said. They're peaceful and curious. They've taught us how to grow food here and how to build homes that last through the seasons. We've taught them about Earth and human technology. The tall plant person with purple flowers made musical sounds. Again, Dr. Kang nodded. This is Pella, the leader of this Florin community, she said. She says your people are welcome to join us. There's plenty of land and resources for everyone. Is it really safe here? Juri asked. Safer than Earth was, Dr. Kang said. No. Big predators to worry about. Good climate, plenty of fresh water, and the Florins are the best neighbors we could have asked for. Pella made more musical sounds, and Dr. Kang translated. Pella says humans bring new ideas. Florins bring old wisdom. Together we make better future than alone. Juri looked around at the village. Humans and plant people working together, learning from each other. This wasn't what she had expected to find. It was better. We have 200 colonists in sleep pods on our ship, Juri said. Can the planet support that many more humans? Easily, Dr. Kang said. The Florins have already helped us find a good place to build a larger settlement near here. There's room for thousands more. Juri made her decision. Then we'll wake our people and bring them down. We'll join you here. Dr. Kang smiled. Excellent. And have you heard from any of the other ships, the other star seekers? No, Juri said. But there were 1,000 ships that left Earth. They all went to different star systems. I'm sure many of them have found new homes too. 1,000 ships, Dr. Kang said with wonder. Humanity is spreading among the stars at last. Pella made more musical sounds, and this time Juri could guess what she was saying. The future would be bright for both species, working together on this beautiful new world. 8 years after first contact on Tau Ceti, now known as Harmony, Captain Juri Moon stood in the Grand Assembly Hall of the newly constructed Interstellar Council headquarters. The building reflected the unique architectural style that had evolved from the collaboration between humans and the Florin, as the plant beings called themselves. Organic structures reinforced with human engineering, creating spaces that were both beautiful and functional. At 47, Juri had seen humanity transform from a species trapped in one solar system to one that had established colonies on 17 different worlds across 12 star systems. More importantly, they had formed alliances with 3 intelligent species. The Florins of Harmony, the aquatic Miri of Proxima Centauri b, and the avian Cree of Epsilon Eridani. The Velrin scout ship will arrive in system within the hour, announced Sung Min, her new first officer. Juri nodded. Are our defenses in position? Yes, Captain. The combined fleet is in formation. Stealth systems activated. The door to the yard chamber opened and 3 figures entered. Dr. He-Jin Kang, now the human representative to the Interstellar Council. Pella, the Florin elder with the purple blooms who had first welcomed humans to Harmony. And Admiral Taewon Kim, who had arrived 2 years earlier aboard one of the last ships to leave Earth. The Velrins have been searching for us for 8 years, Taewon said without preamble. They've finally tracked one of our communication signals. Was it a mistake? Juri asked. Did one of our ships drop stealth protocols? He-Jin shook her head. No. We decided to let them find us. Juri looked at her in shock. That decision wasn't brought before the military council. Because it wasn't a military decision, He-Jin replied calmly. It was a diplomatic one, approved by the full Interstellar Council. Pella stepped forward, her movements fluid despite her age. Human friends have taught us much. We have taught humans much. Together with Miri and Cree, we are stronger than alone. Strong enough now to speak to Velrans as equals, not as prey. Taewon gestured to a holographic display showing the combined fleet, 200 human ships, supplemented by Florin vessels grown from living material, Miri submarines adapted for space, and Cree fighters designed for incredible maneuverability. We're not hiding anymore, he said. We're making a stand. When the Velrin scout ship emerged from FTL at the edge of the Tau Ceti system, it was immediately surrounded by the Allied fleet, which decloaked in unison, a show of force impossible to ignore. Communications Officer Dae-sung, who had stayed with the Pathfinder all these years, opened a channel. They're responding to our hail, Captain. The view screen activated, revealing a Velrin for the first time. The alien had an elongated, crystalline head with multiple faceted eyes, and a body that seemed to shimmer with internal light. When it spoke, its words were translated by the advanced systems developed through collaboration with the Cree, who were natural linguists. This is Commander Vextal of the Velran Confederation. You have violated the quarantine of your species. Return. To your homeworld immediately or face obliteration. Juri stood tall. This is Captain Juri Moon of the United Worlds Alliance. We recognize no authority of the Velran Confederation over humanity or our allies. We are not returning to Earth, now or ever. The Velran's crystalline features registered what might have been surprise. Allies. You have made contact with other species. This violates all Confederation protocols. Your protocols don't apply to us, Juri replied. We're not asking for permission to exist among the stars. We're informing you of reality. Hyejin stepped forward. Commander Vextal, I am Dr. Hyejin Kang, diplomatic representative of humanity. We request a formal meeting with Confederation leadership to establish peaceful relations. However, be advised that any hostile action against human colonies or our allies will be met with unified resistance. The Velran was silent for a moment, its faceted eyes shifting colors in what they would later learn was a sign of deep thought. The Confederation has existed for 12,000 years, it finally said. In that time, no quarantine species has ever escaped containment. The protocol for this situation is unclear. Then let us help you write a new protocol, Hyejin offered. One based on mutual respect rather than dominance. After further communication, the Velran agreed to arrange a diplomatic summit. As the transmission ended, Taewan turned to Juri with a rare smile. 8 years ago, I watched 1,000 ships leave Earth, hoping some would escape detection. I never imagined we'd be forcing the Velrans to the negotiating table. Pella's blooms pulsed with color, a sign of strong emotion. This is why Confederation fears humans. Not because you are violent. Many species are violent. They fear you because you adapt, you build connections, you transform weakness into strength. This is a rare gift in universe. Juri looked out at the assembled fleet, a testament to humanity's ability to not just survive but to forge a new path among the stars. The Velrans thought they had us contained, she said quietly. They never considered that confinement would only make us more determined to break free. 15 years after the Exodus, Juri Moon, now a 50-year-old admiral in the United Worlds Alliance fleet, stood on the bridge of the UWA Harmony, the first ship jointly designed and built by all 4 allied species. Its living hull, grown from Floran biotechnology, housed MIRI propulsion systems, Kree sensor arrays, and human tactical systems, a testament to what cooperation between different species could achieve. Beside her stood Vice Admiral Minho, who had served with her since the Pathfinder's original voyage, and Ambassador Hyejin Kang, who had successfully negotiated humanity's formal recognition by the Velran Confederation 3 years earlier. Earth coming into visual range, announced the sensor officer. On the main view screen, the blue-green planet appeared, still as beautiful as when they had left it. But now, the Velran blockade was gone, replaced by a joint monitoring station, operated by human and Velran personnel. Open a channel to Earth control, Juri ordered. The face of Director Suah Park appeared on the screen. At 80, she had lived to see her grand strategy succeed beyond anyone's expectations. Admiral Moon, she greeted with a smile. Welcome home. It's good to be back, Juri replied. We have guests who are eager to make formal contact. The camera panned to show the delegation standing behind her. Pella, representing the Florans, Nimi, the chief diplomat of the MIRI, and Kriya, high navigator of the Kree. This would be the first time representatives of these species set foot on Earth, a historic moment, carefully negotiated with both Earth authorities and the Velran Confederation. We await your landing. With great anticipation, Suah said. The Global Assembly is prepared for the ceremony. As the Harmony began its descent toward the landing facility in New Geneva, Juri thought about how much had changed in 15 years. The Exodus had been planned as an escape, a desperate bid for humanity's survival beyond Earth. No one had anticipated that it would lead to humanity's greatest period of growth and advancement. The Velran Confederation, while still maintaining its policy of quarantining potentially dangerous emerging species, had been forced to recognize that humanity had earned its place among the spacefaring civilizations. The diplomatic summit, initially tense, had evolved into a series of negotiations that eventually led to the Tau Ceti Accords, an agreement that formally ended Earth's isolation and established protocols for human expansion within defined regions of space. More importantly, the alliance humanity had formed with the Florens, Miri, and Kree had created a new power in the galaxy, one based not on military might alone, but on the combined strengths of four very different evolutionary paths. The Florens contributed their deep understanding of biological systems and sustainable development. The Miri offered their mastery of hydrodynamics and energy efficiency. The Kree provided unparalleled expertise in navigation and communications. And humans brought their adaptability, innovation, and determination. As the Harmony touched down, Juri led the delegation to the main airlock. Through the viewport, she could see the massive crowd gathered to witness this moment, humans from all nations, united in their pride and excitement. Ambassador Hae-jin turned to the alien representatives. Ready to make history? Pella's blooms pulsed with vibrant colors. History already made. Today we only celebrate it. The airlock doors opened, and sunlight streamed in. Earth sunlight. Familiar yet somehow new to Juri after so many years under different stars. As they walked down the ramp, the crowd erupted in cheers. At the bottom, a formal reception awaited, including Earth's highest officials and a delegation of Velrun observers, their crystalline forms glittering in the sunlight. Director Sua Park stepped forward, leaning slightly on a cane but still radiating authority. Admiral Moon, Ambassador Kang, on behalf of the people of Earth, welcome home. And to our honored guests, Pella of the Florens, Nimi of the Miri, and Kriya of the Kree, welcome to Earth. As the formal greetings were exchanged, Juri found herself standing beside Sua. Did you ever imagine this outcome when you launched those 1,000 ships? She asked quietly. Sua's eyes twinkled. I hoped for survival. I dreamed of freedom. But this... She gestured to the historic gathering before them. This exceeds even my wildest ambitions. Juri smiled. The Velruns thought they had trapped us on Earth, containing what they feared we might become. Instead, they only delayed our emergence and gave us time to develop the technologies that would eventually free us. And in doing so, Sua added, they inadvertently created exactly what they feared, a humanity that could not be contained. As the delegation moved toward the Global Assembly building, where the formal alliance treaty would be signed, Juri looked up at the sky. Somewhere up there, hundreds of human ships were continuing the exploration of the galaxy, establishing new colonies, making new discoveries, forging new connections. They had been trapped once. They never would be again. The end,